Lieutenant Mark sat in the observation deck of the Earth Fleet's flagship, staring at the black expanse of space. Stars glittered like tiny jewels scattered across a dark cloth. Commander Lila stood beside him, arms crossed, her eyes scanning the same screens that displayed streams of data. The fleet was on a routine patrol in the outskirts of human-controlled space, mapping unexplored systems and monitoring for any signs of trouble. The silence of space was broken by a sudden alert. A soft beep echoed in the control room, drawing the attention of everyone present. "Lieutenant, check that signal," Lila ordered, her voice calm but firm. Mark's fingers flew across the console. The signal was strange. It carried the exact frequency used in human distress calls, but its origin was far beyond known human space. The system was labeled Zoran 5, a planet not on any official chart. "Commander, you need to see this," Mark said, his voice tinged with surprise. On the main screen, the signal pulsed steadily. It was weak, but unmistakable. Someone or something was calling for help. Lila leaned closer. "Zoran 5? That is not a friendly system. The last probe we sent reported nothing but harsh storms and difficult terrain. It should be uninhabited." Mark frowned. "But the signal is human. It is asking for help in the standard emergency code. Could it be a lost crew from an earlier mission?" Lila shook her head. "No mission has reported losses near this system. Something is off. But we cannot ignore a distress call. We do not leave humans behind." The room fell silent as the crew considered the risk. Venturing into unknown space could be dangerous. Pirates, rogue fleets, or natural dangers might be waiting. Yet, the moral duty was clear. Humanity never ignored a call for help. "Prepare the fleet for course correction," Lila said decisively. "We head to Zoran 5. The crew worked quickly. Orders were given, engines roared to life, and massive ships adjusted their paths toward the distant planet. As the fleet accelerated, the signal grew stronger, almost as if it was guiding them. Far below, on Zoran 5, Oren and Kira observed the sudden movement in their skies. Oren's tall frame shimmered in the light of the twin suns, eyes wide in curiosity. "What is that?" Kira asked, pointing to the dark shapes appearing above the planet. "They are enormous." Oren studied the approaching ships. "I do not know. They come fast and carry no warning. Our sensors show life, but they are not like us. Their shape is similar, but different. Very different." Kira's antennas twitched nervously. "Do you think they are hostile?" Oren shook their head. "I do not think so. Their movements are careful, almost deliberate. I believe they respond to something, a signal." Back on the flagship, Lila and Mark reviewed the data. "Sensors show life on the surface," Mark said. "They appear humanoid. If this is correct, we may have found humans stranded after all. Or something mimicking humans." Lila's eyes narrowed. "We must prepare for first contact carefully. We cannot assume they will welcome us. Approach with caution, but be ready to assist." As the fleet drew closer to Zoran 5, the planet revealed its colors. Vast plains stretched under a pale blue sky. Strange plants swayed gently in a light wind. Mountains rose sharply in the distance, their peaks hidden by thin clouds. The planet seemed peaceful, yet the source of the distress call remained a mystery. Mark glanced at the others in the room. "It is hard to believe a signal like this came from here. There are no cities, no structures visible. How could someone send a message like that?" Lila's gaze was steady. "We do not know. That is why we must go. If someone needs help, it is our duty to answer." The landing team was prepared. Suits checked, equipment packed, and emergency protocols reviewed. Mark led the team with confidence. Each member knew the importance of the mission. Humanity's reputation as helpers and explorers depended on their actions. As the fleet entered the upper atmosphere of Zoran 5, the ground came into view. Strange formations covered the plains, structures that seemed alive, pulsating with energy. Lila and Mark exchanged a glance. This was no ordinary planet. Suddenly, the distress signal reached its peak strength. It was almost as if it recognized the fleet. Mark's heart raced. It is stronger now. Whatever sent it, it knows we are here. Lila nodded. Then we proceed. Lieutenant, prepare the landing team. Humanity answers the call. Always. High above, Oren and Kira watched the fleet descend. Their curiosity battled with caution. For the first time, they wondered if the beings arriving from the stars were friends or threats. The moment of contact was about to begin, and both humans and Zoranians would soon face a truth none had expected. The fleet hovered above the plains of Zoran 5, their massive hulls reflecting the light of the planet's twin suns. Lieutenant Mark and the landing team prepared their descent vehicles. The air below shimmered strangely, as if alive. Every member of the team felt the weight of the unknown pressing on them. Remember, Commander Lila said over the comm, our priority is peaceful contact. We do not know what we will find, but we represent humanity. Show courage and respect. Mark nodded, feeling the responsibility settle on his shoulders. He glanced at his team. Faces were tense but determined. With a soft hum, the landing vehicles disengaged from the fleet and descended toward the planet's surface. Far below, Oren and Kira observed the strange crafts descending from the sky. The Zoranians had never seen beings like this. Their skin was pale, their shapes similar yet completely different from any creature on Zoran 5. Oren's curiosity outweighed caution. We should meet them. They seem unsure, but not hostile. Kira's antennae twitched nervously. What if they are dangerous? What if they bring weapons? Oren shook their head. We cannot know. We must try. This may be the first meeting with another species. We cannot turn away from this moment. The landing vehicles touched down gently on the plains. Dust rose around them, stirred by the thrusters. Mark led his team forward cautiously, scanning the area with their sensors. The terrain was unlike anything they had seen before. Plants seemed to move with purpose, and rocks emitted soft pulses of light. Suddenly, movement caught Mark's eye. Two figures appeared on the horizon. Their shapes were humanoid, standing tall, with shimmering skin that reflected the sun. Mark's heart beat faster. Commander, we have life, he reported. Lila responded through the COMM. Keep your distance. Do not make sudden movements. Let them approach or signal. Observe and report. Oren stepped forward slowly. Kira followed. The humans stopped, unsure if the aliens were friend or foe. Oren raised an arm in a gesture meant to show peace. Mark mirrored the motion, hoping instinct and calm reasoning would bridge the gap. The aliens and humans studied each other silently for a moment that seemed to stretch forever. Then, a soft sound came from Oren, a series of clicks and tones. Mark's team waited, confused. One of the humans activated the universal translation device. Words appeared on the screen. We are not in danger, the translation read. We do not understand you. Why have you come? Mark stepped forward and spoke slowly. We received a distress call from this planet. We came to help. Are there humans here who need assistance? Oren tilted their head. No humans. No one is in danger. The signal you followed, it was accidental. We did not send it. We are Zoranians. You are the first beings from the stars we have seen. Mark felt a mixture of relief and confusion. The distress signal, it was not from humans. Oren shook their head. No. Our mining colony triggered an automated system. It mimicked your frequencies. It called for help, but no one needed saving. Mark exhaled. The tension eased, but curiosity replaced it. Your technology, it is unlike anything we have encountered. How advanced it is. How does it work? Oren's eyes glimmered. It is simple for us, but perhaps complex for you. We have learned to harness planetary energy to maintain life and structures. It may seem unusual to you. Mark glanced at his team. Everyone was scanning the alien systems, fascinated. Lila spoke over the COMM lieutenant, take the opportunity to observe and learn. Remember, humanity grows stronger not just by helping others but by understanding them. As Mark approached Oren, he noticed small gestures and movements. The Zorinians communicated with subtle shifts in body color and light. Mark tried to mimic them, causing Kira to flicker in a pattern that almost looked like laughter. The humans laughed softly, feeling a small connection forming despite the differences. Oren then led the humans closer to the mining colony. Machines moved with fluid precision, lifting and shaping raw materials as if they were extensions of the planet itself. Mark could see how the automated systems maintained balance without harming the environment. This is remarkable, Mark said. Your planet functions almost like a living being. Everything works together perfectly. Oren nodded. It took thousands of cycles to reach this balance. Our people value life and harmony. We protect what sustains us. Mark felt a deep respect for the aliens. Humanity often conquered and reshaped planets, but Zorinians worked with theirs. He shared this observation with his team. There is much we can learn here, not just about technology but about respect for life. This is a lesson we need to take back with us. Kira stepped closer to Mark and touched a glowing plant. The light pulsed softly at the contact. The humans and Zorinians watched, realizing how small gestures could create connection across species. Commander Lila's voice came over the COMM Mark, the first contact has begun. Keep calm, stay observant, and remember our purpose. We came to help, but now we also come to understand. Mark looked at Oren and Kira. The aliens were cautious but curious, just like humans. For the first time, he realized that this unexpected encounter might change humanity's place in the galaxy. It was no longer just a mission of rescue, it was the beginning of a new friendship, one that could unite two worlds through courage, respect, and curiosity. The landing team set up their temporary base near the colony. They shared food synthesized from human rations, and Oren offered a form of energy sustenance that glowed softly. They began a cautious but growing trust. Mark could feel it in his heart. Humanity had arrived at Zorin 5 not just to respond to a signal, but to show that even in the unknown, humans could act with care, courage, and hope. The sun hung low over Zorin 5, casting long shadows across the plains. Lieutenant Mark and his team had spent hours observing the mining colony and speaking with Oren and Kira. Every detail fascinated them. The way machines moved like living creatures, the soft glow of energy channels, and the subtle communication of the Zorinians were unlike anything humans had ever seen. Mark took a deep breath and addressed Oren. We need to understand exactly what happened with the distress signal. If it was an accident, we must be sure no humans are at risk anywhere else on your planet. Oren nodded. It is complicated, but we will explain. Follow me. The team followed the aliens through smooth, winding paths between the glowing structures. The mining colony seemed almost alive. The walls of the structures shifted subtly, responding to movement, and the ground pulsed underfoot with faint energy. This signal, Oren began, was created by one of our automated systems. It monitors resource balance and safety. A recent change in the mining output triggered a protocol. This protocol mimicked distress signals we observed from the stars. Humans use this pattern to call for help. Our system copied it without understanding the meaning. Mark frowned. So your system accidentally called for help using human codes? Oren's light shimmered. Yes. It recognized the frequency but not the sender. It repeated the signal until it reached space. That is why your fleet responded. Kira stepped forward. We did not intend to deceive. We only seek harmony with the planet. The signal was a mistake. You arrived because of it. Now we learn from your presence. Mark glanced at his team. Some were still cautious, scanning the area, but others were clearly impressed by the explanation. It is amazing, he said. Your technology is advanced enough to respond automatically, but it also shows how easy misunderstandings can happen in space. Oren's glow flickered softly, almost like a smile. It is true. Even small errors can carry great consequences. We are glad your people came, though. Your presence has changed something here. What do you mean? Mark asked. Our systems monitor life closely, Oren said. Your arrival caused the colony to adjust. It paused certain routines, allowed us to observe another species. We learn from this interaction. You show qualities our machines cannot measure: courage, empathy, and adaptability. These are not qualities of code. They are qualities of living beings. Mark felt a surge of pride. Humanity had always valued problem-solving and bravery, but hearing it recognized by another intelligent species was powerful. We can learn from each other, he said. And maybe we can help each other as well. Oren nodded. Yes. Your ideas are simple, yet effective. You observe, adapt, and act. That is why you responded to the signal, even without knowing its origin. That quality may allow humans to thrive beyond your world. Mark glanced around. The glowing paths, the moving machines, and the subtle lights all spoke of careful design and balance. Your planet functions almost like a living organism, he said. Every part works together. That is something we do not always achieve on Earth. Oren shimmered. Harmony takes time. We respect life because life sustains us. Our balance allows survival without destruction. You, humans, often change your surroundings quickly. But you have potential to understand balance too, if you choose. Mark's team was silent, absorbing the words. The idea that humanity could be a force for good across the stars filled them with hope. Kira stepped forward and touched one of the energy channels running through the colony. It glowed brightly, responding to her presence. This shows connection, she said. Your people can also connect. You act, you care, you respond. That is a type of energy our machines cannot create. Mark looked at her and nodded. We may not be able to mimic your technology, but we can act with purpose. That may be our greatest strength. Oren's glow pulsed gently. We will continue to observe and learn. And we hope you will share your knowledge with us. Not just technology, but understanding. Actions guided by thought and care are powerful. Mark felt a sense of responsibility settle on him. Humanity had come to Zoran 5 by mistake, but that mistake had created a moment of connection. It showed that even errors could lead to discovery, learning, and friendship. Commander Lila's voice came over the COMM. Mark, record all observations. Make note of their systems, communication methods, and energy channels. This will help humanity understand alien civilizations in the future. And more importantly, show how humans can act with care and intelligence in new worlds. Mark nodded. Understood, Commander. We will document everything. This will be a lesson not only for us but for all who follow. Oren and Kira guided the team to the heart of the colony. There, the humans could see the source of the automated signal. A small device, glowing faintly, hummed as it emitted light pulses. It was simple in design but powerful in function. This caused the distress call, Oren explained. We will disable it, but the lesson remains. You came because you care. That is what makes your species strong. Mark looked at the device, then at the aliens. We came because we must. Humanity never leaves a call for help unanswered. That principle will guide us across the stars, wherever we go. Oren's glow brightened. Then your presence here is a gift. It reminds us that life, in all forms, can create understanding and growth. Even an accidental signal can bring worlds together. Mark smiled. He knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had arrived at Zorin 5 by chance, but now it had the opportunity to make a difference. Not with weapons or dominance, but with courage, understanding, and empathy. The humans and Zorinians stood together, looking at the device that had caused so much confusion. What began as a mistake had become a bridge. Both species realized that their meeting could lead to something greater: friendship, knowledge, and a future shared across the stars. The plains of Zorin 5 glowed softly under the light of the twin suns. The humans and Zorinians had set up a temporary meeting area near the mining colony. Lieutenant Mark and Oren walked side by side, observing the movements of the machines around them. Each machine seemed to respond to the presence of the living, as if the planet itself was aware of the visitors. "This place is incredible," Mark said. "Everything works in harmony. Even the smallest details are connected." Oren nodded. "We value balance. Every action affects another. We have learned to live with care, not just for ourselves, but for the entire planet." Kira approached, carrying a small device that emitted soft-colored light. "We want to learn from you as well," she said. "Your arrival has shown courage, curiosity, and compassion. These are qualities our systems cannot calculate." Mark smiled. "Then perhaps we can share knowledge together. We can show you our ways, and we can learn yours. That is how friendships grow." The humans began by sharing simple ideas about navigation and problem solving. Mark demonstrated how humans used small tools and flexible thinking to overcome challenges. Oren and Kira watched carefully, mimicking some techniques while adding their own methods. The humans adapt quickly, Oren observed to Kira. They notice details and adjust their actions. That is why they responded to the signal even without knowing its source. Kira shimmered in agreement. Yes. Their courage is not based on strength alone, but on thought and choice. That is rare among species we have observed. Meanwhile, the humans studied the Zorinian energy channels. The glowing paths across the colony carried energy efficiently, responding to movement, light, and need. Mark and his team were amazed. "This is more advanced than any system we have on Earth," he said. "It could change the way we think about energy and resources." Oren smiled. "We can show you how to harness it safely. But it is not just about technology. It is about respect for life and balance. Energy must support life, not control it." The day continued with exchanges of ideas and demonstrations. Humans showed how they could construct portable devices using simple materials. Zorinians demonstrated methods of redirecting energy flows to heal damaged equipment and sustain life. Mark noticed a small moment that made him laugh. One of the humans, trying to mimic a Zorinian gesture, twisted awkwardly and emitted a short signal from his device. Oren's light shimmered in confusion, then flickered in what seemed like amusement. Kira twitched her antennae and produced a pattern of light that seemed to say "funny." The humans laughed, realizing that even in a serious mission, joy could be found. As evening approached, the plains of Zorin 5 changed color, soft blues and purples spreading across the landscape. Mark sat with Oren and Kira, discussing the importance of cooperation. "We humans often rush and solve problems with speed," Mark said. "But sometimes we forget to observe carefully. Seeing your approach to balance reminds me that patience and understanding are just as important as action." Oren's glow pulsed gently. "And your arrival reminds us that courage and empathy are powerful. Machines alone cannot create trust or friendship. Life must act with intention. That is why your people are remarkable." Kira added, "We will continue to learn from each other. Technology alone does not make a species strong. Understanding, communication, and choice are what matter. Humans have shown that in abundance." Mark felt a sense of hope growing. Humanity had come to this planet by accident, but the meeting was far from wasted. Both species were learning from each other. Both were beginning to understand that cooperation could lead to growth beyond what either could achieve alone. Commander Lila's voice came over the COMM. Mark, document everything. Record how they respond, how they move, how they use energy. Humanity can learn from this. But more importantly, show that humans can act with care and intelligence when meeting another species. Mark nodded. Understood, Commander. We are learning more than we expected. And I think they are learning from us too. As the night fell on Zoran 5, the plains glowed with soft energy pulses. Humans and Zoranians shared stories of their worlds. Mark described Earth's oceans and mountains, cities, and forests. Oren and Kira shared tales of Zoran 5's long history, of careful growth and preservation. Even though their languages were different, the universal translation devices allowed ideas to flow freely. Mark realized that understanding went beyond words. Simple gestures, laughter, and shared tasks built trust faster than any technology could. They worked together, built together, and learned together. By the end of the day, both sides felt a growing bond. The humans had shown their bravery, curiosity, and willingness to help. The Zoranians had demonstrated balance, intelligence, and wisdom. Together, they had begun the first steps of a lasting friendship. Mark looked up at the stars and thought about the journey ahead. Humanity had arrived at Zoran 5 by following a mistaken signal. Yet this mistake had become an opportunity, a chance to show the best qualities of humans to another intelligent species. The lesson was clear: even in the unknown, humans could act with courage, care, and curiosity. That was the true strength of their species. The plains of Zoran 5 glowed softly as both species prepared for rest, each reflecting on the day's lessons. The cultural exchange had only begun, but already the humans and Zoranians had proven that cooperation and understanding could create something powerful, a bridge between worlds, built not with weapons, but with respect and friendship. The humans and Zoranians were settling into a rhythm of cooperation. Lieutenant Mark and Oren walked together through the glowing plains, discussing ideas and exchanging knowledge. Machines moved efficiently around them, energy pulsed gently through the paths, and a sense of calm filled the air. For the first time, both species felt that peace was possible. Suddenly, sensors on the fleet's ships lit up with warnings. Commander Lila's voice came over the COMM. Mark, you need to return to the landing area immediately. We have detected unidentified ships entering the system. They are not from Zoran 5. Mark's brow furrowed. Unidentified ships? How many? Too many, Lila replied. They are armed. They are approaching fast. We need to prepare for possible combat. Mark ran to the temporary base. Oren and Kira noticed the urgency in his movements. What is happening? Kira asked, concern in her tone. Mark explained quickly. A fleet of unknown ships is coming. They may be hostile. We need to protect your planet and everyone here. Oren's glow dimmed slightly. We have no experience with such attacks. Our defenses are automatic but designed for small threats. This is dangerous. Mark nodded. Then we must combine our skills. Humans can fight strategically. You can use your energy systems and machines. Together, we can defend the planet. The landing team hurried to prepare. Humans set up defensive positions while Oren and Kira directed machines to reinforce shields and create energy barriers. The alien technology was impressive, but untested in battle scenarios with intelligent opponents. As the fleet of rogue ships entered orbit, humans and Zoranians observed their movements. The ships were aggressive, firing beams that could pierce rock. The Zoranians' automated defenses moved to intercept, but coordination was lacking. Mark took charge. Listen carefully. Humans will lead the strategy. Oren, Kira, work with us to direct your energy systems. We can use your barriers to create traps and protect critical areas. Follow our signals and stay calm. Oren and Kira agreed. We will trust your methods. Guide us. The first attack came. Beams of energy struck the planes, and some machines faltered. Humans acted quickly, redirecting Zorinian energy channels to reinforce the barriers. Mark led a small team to disable enemy control points, using quick thinking and agility to avoid attacks. Kira guided machines to protect civilians, moving rapidly across the plains. Oren coordinated with the humans, analyzing patterns of the attackers and predicting their next moves. Mark noticed a weakness. They are concentrating fire on the same area repeatedly. If we redirect energy to other points, we can confuse them. He signaled Oren and Kira. Together, they rerouted energy flows, causing the attackers' beams to miss their targets. The rogue fleet grew frustrated. Their attacks became less organized, while humans and Zorinians worked in harmony. Mark led a daring maneuver, directing a focused energy pulse at the lead ship. The pulse overloaded its systems temporarily, creating an opening for the defenders to strike. Oren's glow brightened as the machines responded perfectly. Energy barriers held strong, and humans moved strategically across the battlefield, disabling enemy weapons without causing unnecessary destruction. Kira's precision in directing energy helped protect the planet's surface. After intense minutes, the attackers realized they were outmatched. Their coordination faltered, and they began retreating. Mark watched as the last of the ships fled through the atmosphere. Relief washed over him. The planet and its people were safe, thanks to teamwork and quick thinking. Commander Lila's voice came over the COMM. Well done, Mark. Humans and Zorinians acted together perfectly. You showed courage, strategy, and cooperation. This is what makes humanity strong in the galaxy. Mark nodded, exhausted but proud. He looked at Oren and Kira. Your people were incredible. Your machines and energy systems are powerful. But our strength was in working together. That is what saved Zorin 5 today. Oren's glow pulsed softly. Yes. We have learned from your methods. Humans do not rely only on strength or technology. You adapt, think, and act with purpose. That is remarkable. Kira added, this battle taught us that cooperation between species is stronger than any single power. Together, we are unstoppable. Mark smiled. Despite the fear and danger, he felt hope. Humanity had arrived at Zorin 5 by mistake, but that mistake had led to trust, friendship, and shared courage. Humans had shown their ability to respond to danger not only with skill but with care for others, a quality that Zorinians admired deeply. As night fell over the plains, the humans and Zorinians began repairing damage caused by the attack. Machines moved efficiently, shields were strengthened, and systems were checked. Both species worked side by side, their cooperation stronger than ever before. Mark looked at the stars, thinking of the unexpected arrival of the rogue fleet. The attack had been a test, a challenge, and humans had met it with courage, intelligence, and unity. He realized that this was just the beginning. Humanity had proven that even in the unknown, they could rise to meet danger while protecting life and building friendships. The plains glowed softly under the twin suns' fading light. Humans and Zorinians shared quiet words of encouragement and reflection. The battle was over, but the lessons would last forever. Courage, cooperation, and understanding could create strength far beyond what any one species could achieve alone. The morning light on Zorin 5 revealed the aftermath of the previous day's attack. Though much of the plains had remained intact, some machines had been damaged, and a few energy channels flickered uncertainly. Humans and Zorinians worked side by side to repair the damage. Lieutenant Mark and Oren oversaw the efforts, coordinating human engineering with Zorinian energy systems. Suddenly, sensors on the fleet's ships blared warnings. Commander Lila's voice crackled over the COMM. Mark, more ships are approaching. They are larger and more organized than the previous group. Prepare for immediate battle. Mark's eyes narrowed. We need to defend the planet and everyone here. Oren, Kira, can your systems handle a coordinated defense? Oren's glow pulsed with determination. Yes, but only if we work together. We can direct energy barriers and defensive machines, but human strategy must guide us. The humans and Zorinians quickly took positions. Defensive barriers rose across key planes, machines moved into strategic locations, and the landing team prepared for rapid deployment. Mark led a team to a ridge overlooking the plains, giving them a clear view of the incoming fleet. As the rogue ships entered orbit, they unleashed a barrage of beams and missiles. The Zorinian energy barriers absorbed much of the attack, but the humans noticed weak points in the formation. Mark signaled to Oren and Kira. Focus energy on these sections and hold until we can counterattack. Humans will move in small squads to disable critical weapons. Oren nodded, sending instructions to the machines. Kira coordinated planetary energy flows to reinforce the barriers. The combined defense slowed the attackers, but the rogue fleet was persistent. Mark led a squad through the energy channels, moving quickly between glowing paths. He used portable devices to disrupt enemy systems, while Oren's machines covered their advance. Humans and Zorinians communicated silently, anticipating each other's movements. The synchronization was near perfect. One of the rogue ships fired a concentrated beam toward the planes. Kira redirected energy from multiple channels to form a shield, blocking the attack. Mark signaled his team to move forward, exploiting the momentary confusion. They disabled several enemy weapons, causing the fleet to lose coordination. The battle intensified. Beams streaked across the sky, energy pulses lit the plains, and machines moved with precision to protect both humans and Zorinians. Mark noticed a pattern: the attackers focused too heavily on the energy sources. He turned to Oren. If we can redirect energy to one point, we can create a trap, he said. Oren adjusted the flows as instructed, concentrating pulses in a single location. The rogue ships, detecting the surge, moved to investigate. At that moment, Mark's team struck, targeting their control systems. The leading ships faltered, beams misfiring, and systems shutting down temporarily. Humans and Zorinians pressed their advantage, moving quickly to disable more ships without causing unnecessary destruction. Oren's machines worked flawlessly, guided by human strategy and intuition. Kira moved across the plains, directing energy to repair barriers and protect critical points. She and Oren coordinated every action, their synchronization with the humans seamless. The rogue fleet, now disorganized and confused, began to retreat. Mark watched as the last enemy ships fled through the atmosphere. Relief spread across the human team, and even the Zorinians' glow shimmered with satisfaction. The battle had been hard, but cooperation, courage, and intelligence had won the day. Commander Lila's voice came over the COMM. Mark, the fleet performed exceptionally. Humans and Zorinians working together created a defense no enemy could overcome. This proves the strength of unity and strategic thinking. Mark nodded, exhaustion mixed with pride. He looked at Oren and Kira. Your people and your technology are amazing. But the real strength was in combining our skills. Strategy, courage, and teamwork, that is what saved Zorin 5. Oren's glow brightened. We have learned much from your species. Humans do not rely solely on strength or automation. You adapt, analyze, and act with purpose. That quality is powerful. Kira added, we will remember this day. Together, we defended the planet. Machines alone could not have done it. It required thought, cooperation, and bravery. Humans showed us that. As evening fell, the humans and Zorinians began repairing the minor damage caused during the battle. Machines hummed and moved under Oren's guidance, while humans used tools and devices to restore energy channels. The combined efforts strengthened both the defenses and the trust between the species. Mark stood at the edge of the plains, looking at the stars. Humanity had arrived at Zoran 5 by mistake, following a signal that was not meant for them. Yet that mistake had led to friendship, cooperation, and a chance to prove human courage and intelligence. The plains glowed softly under the fading light of the twin suns. Humans and Zoranians shared quiet words of encouragement and reflection. The battle had been won, but the lessons would last forever. Cooperation, courage, and understanding created strength beyond technology alone. Mark smiled. Humanity had shown that even in the unknown, they could face danger, protect life, and build lasting bonds. This victory was not just about defending a planet, it was about proving that humans could rise to challenges with wisdom and heart, a lesson that would echo across the stars. The plains of Zoran 5 were calm once more. The rogue fleet had retreated, and the humans and Zoranians worked together to repair the minor damage left behind. Energy channels glowed softly, machines moved efficiently, and the twin suns cast warm light across the land. It was a rare moment of peace after the trials of battle. Lieutenant Mark walked alongside Oren and Kira, observing the restored colony. Humans and Zoranians had developed a rhythm together, combining technology, intelligence, and careful coordination. It was a display of unity neither species had experienced before. "Mark," Oren said, their glow pulsing gently, "your people have shown courage, intelligence, and care. You arrived by mistake, but your actions created trust and friendship. That is more important than any technology." Mark nodded. "We came because humans never leave a call for help unanswered. Even if the call was a mistake, our duty remained. But what we built here, this friendship, this cooperation, will last far beyond this moment." Kira stepped forward. "We have learned much. Machines alone cannot solve everything. Observation, thought, and courage, these are what your species brings. We will continue to learn from you." Commander Lila's voice came over the COMM. "Mark, report. How is the planet and the situation?" "All clear, Commander," Mark replied. "The rogue fleet has retreated. The defenses are restored, and civilians, both human and Zoranian, are safe. Cooperation between our species proved stronger than any attack. Zoran 5 remains secure." Lila's tone carried pride. "Well done. Humanity has shown its strength again. Not through weapons alone, but through courage, intelligence, and unity. Record all observations and prepare to return. This knowledge will guide us in the galaxy." Mark turned to Oren and Kira. "We would like to establish ongoing communication with your people. Share knowledge, exchange ideas, and continue learning from each other. What we started here should not end." Oren shimmered brightly. "We agree. Your species brings perspective we had not known. Humanity's presence will be part of Zoran 5's history. We will continue collaboration, exchange, and mutual learning." Kira added, "We will create channels for education and understanding. Your bravery and care will be remembered. This will strengthen our planet and our people. Together, we can face any challenge." The humans began packing their equipment to return to the fleet. Yet the sense of accomplishment and pride remained. What had started as a simple response to a mistaken distress call had become a turning point for both species. Humanity had demonstrated not only skill but the qualities that define them: courage, empathy, and intelligence. Mark looked at the plains one last time. The energy paths pulsed softly, machines moved with lifelike precision, and the Zoranians glimmered proudly. It was a reminder that cooperation between species could create strength beyond expectation. "Mark," Oren said, "your people have changed our world. We will remember this day as the moment when friendship, understanding, and courage arrived from the stars. You are a part of our legacy now." Mark smiled. "And your people are part of ours. Humanity grows stronger by learning, helping, and connecting with others. This meeting will guide us as we explore the galaxy, not with dominance, but with care and respect. As the humans boarded their landing vehicles, the Zorinians accompanied them to the edge of the plains. The glow of the energy channels reflected in the metal of the ships, a silent farewell and promise of continued friendship. The fleet lifted off, rising above the planet. Mark gazed down at Zoran 5, feeling hope and pride. Humans had arrived by accident, but they had shown that even in the unknown, they could act with purpose, courage, and wisdom. That was the true measure of their strength. Back on the flagship, Mark recorded the final observations. He noted the technology, the energy systems, the culture, and most importantly, the lessons learned. Humanity could thrive not just through skill or weaponry, but through understanding, cooperation, and the willingness to act with courage and care. Commander Lila spoke quietly to Mark. This mission was unexpected, but it revealed what humanity can truly offer. Remember this: bravery and intelligence combined with respect for life are what make humans exceptional. Zoran 5 is proof of that. Mark nodded, understanding fully. The fleet set course back toward known space, leaving Zoran 5 behind but carrying the lessons learned into the stars. Humanity had faced the unknown, built bridges, and proven that courage and intelligence could achieve what technology alone could not. As the stars stretched endlessly ahead, Mark felt certain of one truth: humanity would continue to rise, not by conquering, but by helping, learning, and uniting. Every world they touched could be stronger, safer, and wiser because humans acted with heart and mind together. Zoran 5 glimmered beneath them, a silent witness to the power of cooperation, the courage of explorers, and the legacy of humanity reaching beyond its home. The galaxy had seen the best of humans, and the story was only beginning.